Today I'm working on the V12 build again. I want to get all these ECU modules mounted in the car. There's a lot to do here, so let's dive in and get started. So just to quickly go through what I've got here, these are all the controllers that I use to run this engine. These are all the stock Mercedes units. I'm going to be using these on my build. Some people have used their own ECUs on these engines, but it doesn't tend to get any power gains. It's more for the simplicity aspect of it, using one module instead of all these modules. I quite like the idea of using the stock Mercedes hardware because it's been tuned to work in many different temperatures, countries, environments, oxygen levels. So it gives me a good level of reliability having the original Mercedes stuff. This stuff's all designed so well. It's all in metal enclosures. The ECU cage has its own cooling fan to regulate humidity. All the connectors are all like the top level connectors. A lot of them are gold plated or silver plated. So it's all really good stuff. So I may as well use all this. So to go through what I've got, at the bottom we've got one controller that controls 6 cylinders of the engine. So you can think of this engine as 2 inline sixes bolted together. So this one does the first 6, this next one does the other 6. Above that I've got the e-gas module. This controls the throttle bodies on each side of the engine. So they are motorised and the pedal does pull a cable to run the throttle bodies and then the other one syncs with it. So it's quite a complex system, but this handles all that stuff. Above that I've got ASR, so that's just the traction control, ABS type stuff is all handled by this unit. This one here is the power distribution module. So this feeds power to all these. So that's just quite a simple one. That's in most Mercedes of this era. Here I've got the steering control. So this car has hydraulic steering, but it's got 2 modes. It's got a slow mode and a fast mode. So when you park in, it goes into fast mode, so you can turn the wheel really quick. So you don't need to put much input in and it will turn the wheels really fast. Whereas when you're driving faster, it'll go into slow mode, so you've got more handling and more dynamic steering at high speed. So now we can figure out how we're going to package these. I'm going to be using the original cage that came with the Mercedes, but there's a lot of wiring to consider. There's a lot of positioning that I need to get right to ensure all this works within my V12 Supercar. So here's the back of the car. You can see the ECU cage on this side. You can see it's currently just resting on top of a breeze block. The top removes like this and all them modules can slide in. So I need to attach this down to the chassis, similar to what I've done on this side. To do that, I need to make some more of these plates out of steel to fit on the chassis. Then I can figure out how high I want to mount the ECU cage. If you're enjoying this, give me a quick thumbs up. It takes a lot of work making these videos and keeping up with all the YouTube stuff. I've also got memberships if you want to support me further. I've got some behind the scenes on the V12 build, as well as some other projects. That's both plates now cut out. Next I'm going to paint them in weld through primer so I can weld them onto the chassis. Now I can get these brackets welded to the chassis. That's the brackets tack welded in place. I'm going to finish welding them later. Next, I need to figure out how high this box needs to go and how I'm going to join this to them brackets. That's now set at a good height. I've set it at the same height as the fuse box on this side. So now it's going to work really good. I've currently got it stacked on top of a block. Next, I've got to make some side plates that join down to here and bolt onto this.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna rule, yeah, we all wanna be free. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Now I can get these bolted onto the car. That's both plates now bolted down to the chassis. Now I can set the ECU cage on top of there and see how it looks. That's now at a good height. It's the same as the other side. So that's going to be really nice for the engine bay. I'm going to have to do some more work here to ensure that the electrical connectors can bolt in down there. To do that, I'm going to have to drag the electrical harness out and bolt it all in place and make some big cutouts down here. So I'm going to leave that for another time because I don't have access to that right now. But I think I've made good progress getting this thing roughly set in place. So I'll have to make another bracket to attach down to these plates and hold the whole electrical connector section to ensure that when I slot the ECUs in, they all join onto the wiring harness properly. So that's about where I'm going to leave for today. It's been quite hard making this one because I've just had quite a lot of things on the go at the moment. It's been really busy, but I am still pushing on with this thing. See you in the next one.